this morning. My name is Kenny DUROTILU.
And I am CHIKE. OGBOGU.
Alright, we'll start off with the front page of the Punch newspaper. Privileges of children born into wealth is an editorial piece there out of the Punch. Kwara principal allegedly defiles 7 female pupils. Absconds. Governor's political jamboree in London, scandalous. Another editorial for you. Their constituency projects gulp 700 billion naira. Telemedicine center breaks down after inauguration. Buhari won't withdraw REC nominations, minister tells critics. Osun governor-elect assembles 52 lawyers for tribunal battle. Why we visited Wike, 17 PDP governorship candidates say there. That's talking politics from the Punch newspaper this morning. Also, you find this one: startups offer payment options for struggling Nigerian consumers. That's in business. Experts lament job losses in ship chandling subsector. PDP APC voice poverty in Nigerians. Katsina Labour Party chairman. INEC begins ad hoc staff recruitment September 14. Ballot snatching era over in Nigeria. Or your deputy governor.
Alright, from the Guardian newspaper this morning, lead story front page. NEC meeting, NEC meeting. Decision day in PDP over Wike Atiku feud, and we have these right here. Southern National Working Committee members insist on Ayu's resignation stage walkout. BOT chairman may resign to placate Wike's camp. More here. Wike Fayoshe Aim Udom. Others absent as Atiku meets ex-presidential aspirants. Atiku Wike face-off to end soon. That's coming from the PDP Cuba candidates. Okay, more headlines here from the Guardian newspaper this morning. Federal government threatens sanctions against airlines selling tickets in dollars. Why cancers in under 50 adults are increasing globally by scientists. Gunmen abduct Kanke local government chairman in Plateau State. DSS confirms arrest of Mamu in Egypt. More headlines from the Guardian newspaper this morning. Tinubu denies plot to sack Adamu sideline party from campaign council. Awolowo Dosunmu denies speaking with any journalist on Tinubu Shetima ticket. More headlines here from the Guardian newspaper. ASU, the way out. A piece there to read from the Guardian newspaper. Or here the passing of Duro Onobule. Okay, Nigeria committed to ECOWAS harmony, says Buhari. And more here, building collapse. NIOB task regulatory agencies on building construction. More from the Guardian newspaper. Police Service Commission, Police High Command face-off persists. Commission goes on recruiting constables. Putin warns no gas, no oil to countries that cap prices. More still here from the Guardian newspaper. 2 more stories here. Lagos police arrest 32-year-old ex-convict for traffic robbery. Lastly, from the Guardian newspaper, here we have panic over missing 59-year-old woman in Ibadan.
From the Daily Post newspaper, fresh fuel scarcity looms as Pengerson threatens to shut down installations over oil theft. Also, why PDP must respect us, Governor Wike says. Kebbi Governor Bagudu dissolves cabinet. Bandits negotiator Tukur Mamu allegedly arrested in Egypt. Chelsea sacked Tukur, announced temporary replacement. That's another one. Federal government should allow Amotekun carry sophisticated weapons, Akeredolu says. In that particular story out of the Daily Post, federal government approves Nigeria-Kuwait bilateral air deal. Buhari visits Imo September 13th. That's another one. Sanwo-Olu appoints Gbangbose Martins new Lagos Physical Planning Commissioner. Insecurity worsening at Ondo, Edo, Kogi borders. That's according to Amotekun. Recurrent flooding. Adamawa SEC approves 830 million naira for drainage projects. APC chairman Abdullahi Adamu masquerade. I have no rift with him. That's Tinubu speaking there. You risk 2-year jail term. NMPP tells woman parading self as Ogun candidate. Atiku Peter Obi, APC not threatened, better than them. Tinubu again. Presidency Atiku's candidacy a knife for Nigeria's unity. Joe Igbokwe warns. Also this one, drama as APC members declare support for PDP in Offa, Kwara. And lastly, from the Daily Post, we'll continue to fight for our space in PDP. Makinde tells Wike.
Alright, moving straight on to the Tribune newspaper this morning. UCH trains home carers for the aged. And here are more headlines from the Tribune. Oil pollution, why women in Niger Delta risk dying more from pregnancy. That's something to read there. Walnut enhances effectiveness of cholesterol lowering drug. Well, that's a piece there from the Nigerian Tribune. Qualifying assessment is about the health of Nigerians, not discrimination. MDCN registrar Sanusi speaking there. Amosu's demolition and Biodun's compensation. Something to read from the Tribune newspaper this morning. More headlines from the Tribune. Ogunkago Airport to be unveiled at Chinet's Avia Cargo 2022. Financial distress in aviation, if not well managed, could become safety issues. DGNCAA speaking. FAAN takes responsibility for passengers' ordeal at Lagos Airport. More headlines from the Tribune newspaper this morning. SACO backs NDLEA on war against drug trafficking. More here. Security expert stresses importance of passenger obligations to airport security. And more from the Tribune. Regional Maritime Bank accommodation ready within 90 days. Federal government assures MOWCA. And Nimasa donates medical equipment in Abuja. Turn Lagos area office into cargo transshipment hub. Minister urges NIWA. APM terminals at Papa set new safety record. Logs 400 days, no LTI. Two more headlines from the Tribune newspaper this morning from the sporting side. Napoli trash Liverpool 4-1 in UEFA Champions League opener. Here, more from lastly here. Nigerian Economic Summit to set agenda for incoming administration. Lastly, from the Tribune newspaper, we are losing wives to Okada riders. Police officers allege protest 18 months unpaid salaries in Osun State. We go on a quick break now, and when we come back, we engage our analyst in the studio, Professor Olu Ojedokun, this morning. Stay tuned.
Are you interested in working and living in countries like Canada, Qatar, Dubai, Croatia, Poland, etc.? Then this opportunity is for you. At Precaso Agency and Consults Limited, we have secured a 10-year contract to bring Nigerians who wish to work as cooks, painters, drivers, plumbers, electricians, bricklayers, and fuel attendants. Attend the live workshop in Ibadan on the 14th of September 2022. Venue, MOV 21 Event Center, Ring Road. Time, 8 a.m. Requirements: a valid international passport, minimum of O-level certificate, and ability to read and write English. For more inquiries, please call 0809-015-0555 or 0817-990-0308. Precaso Agency and Consults Limited. It's all about changing lives.
Oh yes! People have been winning, and you too can be a millionaire in the Dangote Bag of Goodies Season 3 promo. Yes! Spell Dangote and become a multi-millionaire. Category 1, instant win. Buy bags of Dangote cement. Pick up the scratch card and win an instant prize. Category 2, for the star prize, pick up the scratch card inside the bags to spell DANGOTE, qualifying you to win 1 million naira cash. Category 3, the mega star prize. Pick out the scratch card inside the bags and spell DANGOTE, qualifying you to win 5 million naira cash. When you pick an alphabet with an eagle, look out for letter O that has the Dangote Eagle logo for you to win the mega star prize. Terms and conditions apply.
Country people, education be the foundation for better future. Now, why Dominion Aviation College they give you the opportunity to sabi many things we follow for inside the education? Share na air ticketing and reservation / GDS training, abi tourism transport and travel management, software development and application development courses. Now, Dominion Aviation College make you the rush go. Within 6 months, you self don't turn sabi person be that. Admission requirement no hard at all. Just make sure say you get a waiting result. WAEC, GCE, NECO, ND, NCE, HND, or BSc. So you go fit register, learn air ticketing and reservation / GDS training, tourism transport and travel management, and many other things. Waiting you can't wait for again. Sharply go visit Dominion Aviation College. We see don't put a number B37 Oyinlola Street off Bolumole Ring Road, Challenge Ibadan, or make you tell the wire 0814-730-6896. WhatsApp 0813-148-2943. Website www.dominionaviationcollege.com. Dominion Aviation College. Better choice for better education.
You've got the world at your feet. Now you take control, oh, and it all revolves around you. Without the FX, you can be sure that your trading go mature, your investments are secure. And now you have a partner to make the world revolve around you. Octa FX is always here for you. A partner to make the world revolve around you. Octa FX is always here for you. Oh, 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 hey. Octa FX is always here for you.
Set the pace for a great life with a reliable partner that allows you to focus on what matters most. Download the Octa FX trading app now.
Get up and go, 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 go. With Countdown Choco, go, go, go. Get up and, get up and, get up and go. No matter what you gotta do, do it. Countdown Choco, by the rich must earn for vitality. Get up and go. Stay strong, save the world, take action. Get up and go.
Cowbell chocolates with Vitarich plus iron.
Win big in the Techno Special Sales Promo. Solar inverters for 2 lucky winners and back-to-school gift packs, including laptops, will be won by 10 people. Simply buy any Techno Camon 19 or Spark 9 smartphone models and get a raffle ticket to qualify for the grand prize draws. Also, enjoy discounts up to 15,000 naira on select Techno smartphones and instant gifts upon purchase. Promo runs till 30th September. Visit at Techno Mobile NG on social media for more info. T's and C's apply. Techno. Stop at nothing.
Welcome back. It's still the Break of Dawn newspaper review on 32 FM 94.9, the station where joy resides. I am CHIKE. OGBOGU.
I'm Kenny DUROTILU. Good morning once again, and we have Professor Oluwajedokun with us this morning to help us make sense of the stories out of the papers this morning. Good morning, Prof.
Yes, top of the day to you.
All right, let's have you speak on this one. The Petroleum and Natural Gas Senior Staff Association Nigeria on Wednesday, yesterday, threatened a showdown with the federal government over the massive oil thefts in the Niger Delta. They are saying basically those that are stealing the oil, security agencies, people who are supposed to protect the pipelines and all of that, they're the ones responsible. They can't stomach that anymore. That's the reason why they're going on this protest.
Well, if you are in a bank, and most of the money was being stolen, there's leakage in the bank, where will your suspicion lie? Of course, your suspicion is going to lie with those securing the bank and all those working within the bank. And it's the same thing within the petroleum sector. People have suggested for a long time that there's a collusion between those who should safeguard, who should secure our pipelines, and those from the outside, from that point of view. So, of course, there's a collaboration. And I'm happy that the workers whose interest it is that oil is delivered and that the money comes into the economy are protesting and are raising this alarm. If you are supposed to secure our territorial integrity, our borders, our resources, and yet you are not, then you're good enough for nothing. So yes, I agree that they should be investigated, it should be stopped, and the leakages have to be addressed, and there should be consequences. The problem is that crimes in Nigeria are not consequential. In other words, when you commit crimes, a lot of people get away with it. And until those crimes are treated as economic sabotage and are dealt with accordingly, it will continue. But the reality of it is that a significant amount of money that should be coming into our coffers is not coming into our coffers because it's been stolen. That's one aspect of it anyway.
Innocent Nigerians are going to suffer at the end of the day.
They have been suffering. They have been suffering because when we look at the production quota that we have, we've not been able to meet that production quota for quite some time. In other words, even if we are given 2.6 or whatever it is, we have only been able to reach 1.6, 1.8.
All right, Prof. There was this data that came out online yesterday where it said Nigeria's crude revenue from crude oil sales was zero in the month of July, and this should be a source of worry to Nigerians as we're heading into an election year, and then monies will be thrown out. However, nothing is coming in. That should be a source of worry.
Well, nothing is coming in because if you look at the subsidy situation, we spend almost all, even not more, on subsidy. So it comes in or doesn't even come in, it goes on subsidy. And of course, we've already said that the subsidy regime is unsustainable and the federal government has not been able to bite the bullet. So remittance into the federation account is going to continue to be nil until we actually bite the bullet and do something about the subsidy. And I think Nigeria's situation is pathetic because out of all the petroleum producing countries in the world, we are reaping benefits, huge benefits. Remember when we used to talk about windfall? All of them are reaping windfall. Nigeria is the only country, and nobody has been able to explain it satisfactorily. Everybody takes it as normal when it's an abnormal situation. And of course, what it then means is that your deficit increases, your debt servicing, of course, takes a monumental proportion. And of course, there's going to be suffering in the land, and then there's more opportunity, so for social dislocation, and of course, for societal collapse of some sort.
Well, your position right now might be alien. We have Minister of Petroleum, right?
Well, it's the President and Commander-in-Chief. Well, do you have a Minister of State also?
Okay. So you might not be alien, right? Your submissions, right?
Oh, when you mean not be alien, what do you mean?
To those responsible for this sector, right?
Well, first and foremost, we've never known the President to be actively engaged in the sector. He's left it to his Minister of State. And unfortunately, the Minister of State, more or less, I've always left it to the Managing Director of the NNPC. So, yes, they may be aware of all these factors, but politically, they don't have the will, nor do they have the substance to be able to address it. They're not addressing it. They're simply just waiting this time out. That's what it appears to be.
ASU is on strike. The NMA gave out a warning recently, and the National Association of Resident Doctors also gave out their warnings. But yesterday, in Oshogbo, in Osun State, the capital of Osun State, police constabularies staged a peaceful protest over non-payment of 18 months' salary. The constables gathered at the Okefia roundabout and moved through Lake Kunwodo to the Olaiya areas of Oshogbo, the capital of Osun State. They were dressed in police uniforms and carried placards with inscriptions like, "Pay us now, we're dying, we're hungry, 18 months, no kobo. Okada riders are sleeping with our wives," amongst others. Many things on those placards. I saw them yesterday, and then you feel sorry for those who are supposed to enforce law in the country.
I think there's a comedic slant to it, and I'm sure that that poster of sleeping with their wives, or maybe one or two, may not be as widespread as it is, but that's not the point. The point is that for 18 months, these constables, who I assume are of the Nigerian police force, And the Nigerian Police Force is under the exclusive legislative list, which means that the federal government has the responsibility for paying their salaries. States sometimes might pay some of allowances or whatever it is, but the federal government has the responsibility. And I think it's a utter disgrace that for 18 months their salaries have not been paid. And of course, when they go on strike or when they go on protest, you cannot blame them. Because obviously many of them, their homes are in disarray. They cannot do plan. And you know what it means? That many of them are collaborating with criminals in order to sustain themselves. Not because they want to become rich, but because they want to eat and maintain body and soul. So I think it's an utter disgrace, and I think it should be investigated. And I think the Commissioner of Police has questions to answer. And the Inspector General of Police indeed also has questions to answer. And it means in that area people are not safe. They're not safe. You cannot guarantee peace and tranquility because the police have not been paid.
Corroborating your point, Ibrahim Adenekon, one of them, a father of two, said he could not take care of his family because he had not been paid for 18 months. And quoting him, he says, "I have 2 children and a wife. I have not been able to provide for their needs since I started working. What is the essence of working? They should just pay our money. That is what we want." End of quote. That's coming from one of them, Ibrahim Adenekon. Well, this story is from the Premium Times this morning.
All right, from the Daily Post, River State Governor Nyesom Wike, we understand that 17 PDP People's Democratic Party candidates, governorship candidates, visited him on Tuesday. They claim that they visited the governor as part of their contribution to the reconciliatory moves initiated by the party's leadership. And Prof, I just wanted you to give us, your general perspective of where this crisis within the PDP is heading right now. It seems like, of course, Wike is such a juggernaut within the PDP, and having 17 people come for reconciliatory talks and all of that. What's your take on that?
Let's be clear that these 17 governors or candidates came to see Wike not so much because they love Wike, but because it's self-preservation. They also want their own electoral fortunes to be preserved. I think it's very clear that they've been headed in this direction since the conclusion of the presidential primaries, particularly when IU was heard to have voiced out that Tambua saved the day from that point of view. And Wike has felt that it's giving,
Sorry.
Wike has felt that he's given everything that he has to the PDP. When Atiku was in semi-exile in Dubai in all those years, 2019 to 2022, Wike felt that he was the one funding the party, providing facility, being the bulwark against of opposition against the APC.
Right.
That is not being given that respect. And also, when they were selecting the running mate, he also felt that he was unfairly treated. And so, but there's also been a lot of brickbats in terms of verbal statements and misstatements that have been going on. First from Lamido of Jigawa, and then later Ayu himself, when people should have kept their powders dry. Because Wike has a lot to offer in terms of electoral support. And if there will be some people who suggest that if they cannot win Rivers, then it's going to be a Herculean task for Atiku. It doesn't mean game is over, but it means it's going to be more difficult in terms of the electoral path for him to pursue. But those 17 really want to preserve themselves and they want to ensure that they have Wike's support, even if he doesn't support their presidential candidate.
He could make some erratic statements himself, Wike.
Well, Wike is known to be a jester, but he's also known to be a serious-minded person. He does make some erratic statements. This is character. But having said that, he has behind him substance, he has behind him achievements, and he has behind him some track record.
All right, let's take this story. Federal government suspends proposed tax on phone calls. The Minister of Finance, Budget and National Planning, Zainab Ahmed, announced that the government was preparing to implement a 5% excise tax on telecoms, which would raise total on phone services to 12.5%. The sector has an existing 7.5% on its services. However, the federal government has said it's suspending the proposed tax on phone calls.
Well, presumably that's going to put a hole in the budget. But also some people say it's a relief. A relief because it means that phone calls in terms of the cost don't go up. But the reality of it is that we have a deficit budget and the money must come from somewhere.
You know, it was alleged that it was what part of the plans by ASU. It was part of their demands to use in funding the union and the universities in Nigeria. Now, the suspension, is it not bringing up another issue with the ASU federal government feud?
Well, it will bring, because obviously if federal government is going to meet the demands, excuse me, if federal government is going to meet the demands of ASU, then they're going to need funding and money from somewhere. They're either going to borrow or they're either going to tax their way out of it. And if, of course, they're cutting out one of the streams of tax, then, of course, it doesn't mean they don't want to meet the demands of ASU.
Well, the word is suspend. So apparently, maybe after the elections, whatever happens,
they might resuscitate
it might be revived.
Well, it might be, but what it then means is that we've lost some months, 7 months. And of course, that digs us into a greater financial hole. I think my own problem really is that we fail to prioritize. You know, what the Federal Minister of Finance should be doing at this point in time is seeing how you can curtail expenditure, seeing how you can curtail expenditure, not just with the National Assembly, with the executive, and I dare say even with aspects of the judiciary, but we're not doing that at all. Expenditure remains the same. Recurrent expenditure in particular. What we should be emphasizing now is concentrating on capital expenditure, which can bring money into the economy.
All right, the Onion of Ife marries a third wife. That's Miriam Anako, months after divorce. I have a new queen in Ife.
Did he divorce? That would be the question that I'll ask. Did he divorce? As he divorced the princess Naomi?
Well, maybe the right word to use is after the separation.
Yes. Well, Obas are entitled, some say, to have well, people will call them Olori, some will call them Harlems, whatever you call them. They even inherit, wives of previous Obas. So anybody who's marrying the Obas should be expected. And this is quite a traditional throne, so I don't think it's a surprise. My own surprise is that all this is giving publicity. I'd expect him to do what he wants. Obas marry every day. And nobody, you understand.
It's not supposed to be a big deal.
That's the point, especially when you're serious in your marriages.
Especially when that seat is known for polygamy, right?
Yes, that's it. So I don't know why it's all over the airways and the radio.
Okay, this comes Southwest, Prof. Before we go on a break this morning, insecurity worsening at Ondo, Edo, Kogi borders. Moteko is saying criminals we hear usually flee to towns in Kogi and Edo after the strike. That's in Ondo State. Yes. After the attack in Ondo State, and Motekun goes after them. They flee to the neighboring cities, the borders. Then we understand that once Amotekun leaves, they go back into Ondo State. Let's have you talk on that.
Well, first and foremost, Amotekun's reef or their jurisdiction does not extend to Kogi, Kwara, all those places. So, of course, the criminals are smart. They do what they want to do, and they run to places where the jurisdiction of Amotekun doesn't extend to, which therefore means that Amotekun also has to be smarter, which means maintain a presence at the border so that those people cannot come in the first place, from that point of view, and get some intelligence, and maybe have some collaboration across the borders with the police there, so that at least some of the intelligence can be fed to the police, and the police can apprehend them as they flee or make a getaway from that point of view. So more intelligence-led policing, even though Amotekun is not a full-fledged policing, but at least that's what we've got, and that's what we're working with.
There's always been talk about porous borders nationally, talking about Nigeria and Niger and all of that. State borders as well, some issues there.
Well, state borders are not manned by anybody anyway. If you're traveling from Ife to from Ibadan to Ife, if you wouldn't know when you've got to.
If there's a border.
Yes, but after Ashejire, generally you guess. It's the same thing in Lagos, Ibadan. So it's not as if there's a sign. So there are sometimes signs, but many a times there are no signs. So it's just the lands just merging into each other. So
welcome to,
Yes, from that
buy from.
Yes. And the reality of it is that the states some of them are arbitrary. Osun or your state. There's some parts of Osun or your state that speak exactly the same thing. It's just, administrative convenience.
All right, we'll be going on this break, and when we come back, we'll open the phone lines. The numbers to call will be 0705 5000 949 and 0809 7000 949. For those in diaspora, the number to call will be +234 906 2000 949. Stay tuned, don't go away.
Win big in the Techno Special Sales Promo. Solar inverters for 2 lucky winners and back-to-school gift packs, including laptops, will be won by 10 people. Simply buy any Techno Camon 19 or Spark 9 smartphone models and get a raffle ticket to qualify for the grand prize draws. Also, enjoy discounts up to 15,000 naira on select Techno smartphones and instant gifts upon purchase. Promo runs till 30th September. Visit at Techno Mobile NG on social media for more info. T's and C's apply. Techno, stop at nothing.
This announcement from Jonathan King Limited is for those who desire the truth and are ready to take actions for a rewarding future. Canada is arguably the best place to acquire first-class, practical, and developmentally oriented education. Opportunity for student scholarships, grants, and interest-free loans to pursue their studies to PhD level in Canada is about the highest in the world, and they can work while undergoing full-time studies. Jonathan King Limited invites parents and prospective students to a life-changing meeting with a team from Canada led by the Associate Director, International Recruitment, Thompson Rivers University, Canada, who will speak and answer questions on Canada Study Visa, life in Canada, and opportunities open to students. Date, Thursday, 15th of September 2022. Venue, Floor 23, Cocoa House, Ibadan. Time, 12 noon prompt. Admission is free. However, it's on first-come, first-served basis, as the hall will take only about 100 people. Please visit our website, jonathankinglimited.com. Jonathan King Limited, first and 6th floors, Cocoa House, Ibadan.
Power oil, power oil. Bunga cooking oil, we get different sizes and different packs. Power oil, power oil. The one way they sweet me na mini pack for 100 naira. Yeah. Power oil, power oil. Play everywhere. Power oil, good for your heart. Power oil, cholesterol. Power oil, no trans fat. Power oil. And people who listen to your heart use power oil.
Rolling in 2, lights, camera, sound, action.
It's here. MTN 5G, it's here. The MTN wonder.
No,
The wonder of
No. This is how your line is supposed to go.
The wonder of MTN 5G has arrived, and it's time for you to be a part of it. All you have to do is pre-order your own 5G router for 50,000 naira only. Visit www.mtn.ng/5G-router. Follow the instructions there and start your 5G life right now.
Waiting you sabi about the beautiful game. You dey there for the life and style. Fantasy leagues, bass goals, ginger and okto, breaking down the stats even to the MVPs, taking no L's and only for the W's. I beg, then Showmax Pro get news for you. Football season is back. Live, e-choke. Watch the Premier League, La Liga, Serie A, anywhere on any screen. Mado. Stream the action from Super Sport live on Showmax Pro. Sign up at showmax.com.
Tolú, báwo ni ìrìnàjò ẹ̀? Ilẹ̀ Haúsá dùn. Mo jẹ oúnjẹ kan tó ń pè ní dambu ìṣèkáfá níbẹ̀. Ọ̀rẹ́, adùn àti tasọ́sán ẹ̀ lárinrin.
Oúnjẹ ti délẹ̀ o.
Láìdé, oúnjẹ yẹn náà ló sè é. Ó tún dùn jù yẹn lọ. Báwo ló ṣe sè é? Ìsebẹ̀ ọ̀ngà. Òun ni ìsebẹ̀ tó o nílò fádùn àti tasọ́sán tó lélẹ̀. Dùn àwọn tó fẹ́ràn nínú pẹ̀lú oúnjẹ aládùn nínú ilé rẹ̀.
Onga, Mama's helping hand.
All right, welcome back. The phone lines are open. Just to share your thoughts there, 0705 5949 and 0809 7949. You can also call those in diaspora can also call +234 906 2949. We still have Professor Olu Ojedokun in the studios this morning. We'll be looking at some more headlines this morning and make some sense out of it.
Okay, we have this call. Let's take this one. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm Jeremy, sir.
Right.
I'm calling from Challenge this morning. Good morning, Professor.
Yeah, good morning, sir.
Yes, 17 governorship candidates of PDP have to visit in UK this very time. It's good, but I don't think their visit will make any useful sense to Nyesom Wike. The condition is for you to step down. Because I know that under Section 7 or Section 3 of the PDP, let me make it clear. I do not belong to any of the political parties but I know how the political parties run. So under Section 7, Subsection 3 of PDP Constitution states clearly that there should be rotation of party offices and elected offices. The founding fathers, which are you claim to be a member, Professor Jerry Ganadi Wobe and some few who are still alive, took into cognizance the complexity, the diversity of the country to ensure equity, fairness, and justice. Atiku, Ayu, and DOT chairman from the north appears not to be good. Even though I love what is happening to Nike and said it in this program, he's fighting for justice which he does not deserve. But I challenge Aku, Ayu, and DOT chairman to be reasonable and responsible at this time, especially with the emergency of the obedience movement from the southeast geopolitical zone, which not really reduce the number of votes to PDP. John Njoku is my name.
All right, John Njoku, thank you for calling. But kindly, if you're still listening, kindly always turn down the volume on your radio set. The feedback from your side will prevent others from listening to what you're saying. You have some submissions there, but we can also hear you. We can't also hear you too well. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning. From Ibadan. On how it's in Nigeria, if the numbers are accurate, the Nigeria that I know does not have a database system, let alone an accurate database system. How do they arrive at that number? When are they selling these barrels of oil? See, there are some robbery or pilfering, let me call that cannot happen in Nigeria without the backing of top executives in the government and perhaps the military. And just as a reminder, for the year 2022, the NNPC has now remitted 1 kobo, what has been the function of the president in Dublin as the Minister of Petroleum. Until we learn how to hold our leaders responsible, we will never get it right in Nigeria. With this action, ideally, the women party should not even have the guts to be campaigning for a re-election. But because I don't believe in Nigeria usually suffer from amnesia, a lot of us will still support them. What is the way out? Because most of the achievements we are counting on in Nigeria now are the achievements before colonialism. Are we ever going to get it right? I pray God will choose the right leader for us in 2023. I'll keep spending Nigeria. Good morning.
All right, thank you. 07055,949 08097,949. We have some messages on Facebook. Kidiron Babatunde says, who are those stealing the crude oil? Who are those providing security cover for those stealing the crude oil? Who are those bankers clearing the illicit funds? They are Nigerians colluding with foreigners bleeding the country. Thank you there. Please remind the NMA not to go on strike because Ngige and Health Minister is a member of NMA. They will activate no work, no pay. All right. Okay, thank you there. Omotayo Oluwarutimi on Obamiro, all these problems are all due to the gross mismanagement of the economy and are due to the fact that we've not managed our education well. We've not managed how to educate our people well. So these problems will keep on resurfacing and recycling themselves.
All right, Prof, did you get to hear the story of the abducted train passenger, the negotiator, who was arrested in Egypt by the DSS, and he's been deported back to the country? And one would want to ask, he's a negotiator, what might have been his offense?
Probably compromise, probably added its own commission. I'm not saying, we have to be very careful here. But it's quite clear that he knows much more than he appears to know. Or it maybe the DSS is just pursuing a legitimate line of inquiry as to his knowledge. You know, normally what should have happened is that these people should be debriefed. So you know the strengths of the terrorists, where they're located, their modus operandi, and if there's any information that the security forces can use to track them down. So it might just be routine.
Yeah. Let's pick this call. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Your name and where you're calling? Okay.
Which is now a thing got the PDP. Governments are now going to, why? Because they need financial support and they know they can get that from River State. As much as I respect the view of Wiki, I don't think the way he's going about it is the best way to go about it. And I see reason why it's very hard for somebody to bring Wiki on board as the vice president. with the attitude, the way he goes by things. I think as a family, all these things they need to settle amicably amidst themselves instead of putting themselves in the show of shape they are putting themselves. And it's very unfortunate they have a chairman too that is not mature, responding to what Wiki is doing. I pray they have a settled before the election. Have a nice day.
Colin, thank you for calling. However, you made an allegation there saying governors are going to Wiki for financial support. That's an allegation.
It's an allegation, and I doubt whether it's really the governors. Maybe what it meant was that the candidates, not all of them are governors substantive. Maybe the candidate. But even that is a serious allegation.
Yeah.
You understand? Because the money doesn't belong to Wiki. It belongs
Taxpayers'
to
funds.
Yes, taxpayers' funds. But, there have always been questions because Wiki himself has bankrolled a number of projects, a number of state. Sokoto has donated a lot of money there, from that point of view. So the question has been, has it been political party funds, has it been state funds?
Hello, good morning.
Kindly turn down the volume on your radio.
This is Osani from Akubo.
All right, quickly, let's hear your thoughts.
Yeah, my thing is about the Amotekun, that they should be taking sophisticated measures because now this security level is overall already. It's in every state. So we can't hide from that. I think since we told the federal government that they should grant these states to this, that they should grant state security. Yes, they never said anything about it. Like, I didn't think they were able to secure the land. There will not be local security. There will not be anything called Amotekun. But because they are failed, that's where they have to start state security, getting some agencies to start doing security jobs. So I think they need sophisticated weapons and they should be trained on how to use it in order to minimize the rate of this insecurity in the land. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. Good morning. Hello. Hello, good morning. Okay. Hello, good morning.
Hello, sir.
Hi, good morning.
Yes.
Good morning. All right.
Companies that they are the companies that have problem between police service commission and IGP, the former IGP, when they are recruited. It is not only on 50, throughout Nigeria, they are not being paid. Because there is a dispute that IGP has no power to recruit these people. That's why police service commission did not pay them. That's number one. About people are saying UK, allegation against UK is very unfortunate. People should be very careful. About these 17 aspirants, as alternatives, UK has supported this idea that the North cannot take everything. So people that see UK as somebody that is not here. Let's come to Russia. The pressure in Russia has two senators, the government, deputy speaker. We should, when we are condemning the North, we should condemn that pressure in the Russia. That is not fair.
All right, thank you for calling. Prof, we have to leave. Your final thoughts.
Well, the final thought is that 2023 is going to be very interesting, and I hope 2023 is going to be about the people and not about the candidates.
The Ondo State governor is clamoring for Amotekun to bear arms.
Yes, I think that the constitution should be reflect regional policing so that even Amotekun have the full weight of the law to be able to do full law enforcement.
All right, dear listener, thank you for being there. I am CHIKE OGBOGU, wishing you a very positive day ahead.
I'm Kenny. DUROTILU. Do have yourself a pleasant day.